Welcome back to an exciting video, and what we're talking about today is the installation of a Tesi Momentary switch on my J Custom. So that is correct. I installed a momentary switch on my J Custom. I got to admit it was kind of hard to do because I really didn't want to. I love this guitar, and this was a present from my wife, and I really didn't want to get on it and start cutting wires and altering anything. And it was very hard for me to get to this point. But we know we have shows coming up, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before in my videos, but I absolutely hate volume knobs right here. My main guitar that I gig with is my 1120 Ibanez, and the volume knob is, well, it's actually sitting about right here above this one. And after playing the EVH Wolfgangs for so many years, where they're sitting back here, and then, the myriad of Les Pauls that I've had that I've just unfortunately never found that magic one to keep. My playing style, I've kind of gotten used to playing like this. And so the volume knob gets in my way and drives me absolutely crazy. Now, I have over the years adapted to playing over the top of the volume knob, but I still don't like it there. It's just too close. And in my personal opinion, all volume knobs need to be over here. Every one of them. Because I play here, and it's just easy for me to grab that and roll it. I do not like them right here in the front. So, with that being said, I finally took my beautiful J Custom, and I thought, you know what? I love momentary switches anyway, because I'm going to be putting one into my black Wolfgang also. And I thought I'm going to go ahead and stick one in here, remove the volume knob, and just have fun with it, because momentary switches are seriously, seriously cool. Well, if you don't know what a momentary switch is this. It kills the signal. And I love that. And I know a lot of people think, well, those are just gimmicky, they're stupid, because I've read people that say that. And I gotta be honest, I love momentary switches because they do so much more than just the cool effect of, they do so much more than that. And a prime example is we have some songs where we cut our volume like that instantly. And and obviously over the years you get in the habit of just slamming your volume knob off. Well, it's so much easier for me with a momentary switch. And for instance, when we do like Still of the Night, and then I can just drop that signal instantly. And I don't have to worry about it. And so I use them a lot for that reason. And when we're coming off the end of Barracuda, at the very end where it's got and I can just shut it down instantly. And I like that. And then a lot of times when we're screwing around and I have my volume turned on and I want to talk or something, instead of having to reach down and move my volume, I'll just hit my momentary switch, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah, and then I'm right back up and running again. And then sometimes when I'm on my piano, if I'm doing something where it just requires one hand, instead of having, because a lot of times from my keyboards, I got to make a very fast transition from here to here, very fast. Well, a lot of times I'm just using one hand, and I'm using my right hand, and it's too hard for me to reach over with my volume knob. So I'll keep my volume up, and I'll just hold my momentary switch while I'm doing this. And then when it comes time to play, I'm ready to go. So there's a billion reasons why to install a momentary switch. And I gotta admit, it irritates me a little bit because I've read comments on other people who've done this, oh, they're stupid, oh, they're gimmicky, oh, there's no reason to have one. And I disagree 1,000%. I just gave you 5, 6 fantastic reasons why you need a momentary switch in your guitar. And if you don't like the gimmicky part of it, then use it for the functionality part of it. But something other people are not realizing is these things have come a long way, because now you can get latching switches as well. Well, what is a latching switch? Well, the latching switch, you can set this up to where, let's say you don't have this, or you do have this, but you want a specific set of pickups on at one time. let's say you just want, no matter where you're at, you want to be able to ignite these two pickups. Well, you can use this as a latching switch to when you click it, it'll automatically activate these two pickups. Or you can use it to where if you don't have one of these on it, that every time you touch it, it'll go from your front pickup to your back pickup to your front pickup to your back pickup. And you can also use a latching switch as kind of an off-on, to where when you hit it, turns your guitar off. When you hit it again, turns your guitar on. So there's a million reasons to have one of these. And I think this is one of the most overlooked tools on a guitar. And like I said, it's not a gimmick. It is literally a tool. And like I said just a minute ago, I've given you 4 or 5 excellent reasons why to have one, because I love having momentary switches on my guitars. And eventually all my guitars will have a momentary switch. But on the ones that only have, that you want to maintain both your knobs, then you got to drill, and that is a little bit of a caveat because you got to start doing some body work. And at that point, I highly recommend you have somebody do it. But in my case, I love having my volume knobs out of the way, so it's very easy for me to do because I just stick them in where my volume knob used to be. Now, one thing you can see right here where my latching switch is, one thing about a J Custom, and I'll show you a close-up in a minute, is the knobs are recessed, and that presented a little bit of a problem. My wife and I had to go on an extended search to find something that would not only fit the latching switch on the inside hole, but also the same size as the recess in the guitar. And luckily, in this little bitty hardware store, my wife found the perfect chrome washer, and it just worked out great because it is actually chromed. It's not a silver washer, it is chromed, because I will be putting stainless steel frets on these, which obviously are very chrome looking, very shiny stainless steel. And so it's going to match up fantastic. And so we got very fortunate that this just happened to fit right in that hole. And I'm going to see if the camera will focus. That this just happened to fit right in that hole, and that it also just happened to have a hole big enough for the switch. So that was, I mean, a 1 in a million shot, dude. She found this, and so luckily got a couple of them. I don't have any other guitars with a recess in it, but still, just in case, because I can raise and lower by adding another one if I wanted to get a little higher. But I like it where it's at right now, sitting in the recess, because it is, you can see it barely sticks up, and I love that. I kind of got to reach into the hole to activate it, and that gets it completely out of my way, and I absolutely love that. So what I'm going to do is, since I've already done the wiring for this, I'm going to show you how I did it, but I'm not going to, obviously it's already soldered and put together. I ordered the switch last Sunday. Not this past Sunday, well, 2 weeks ago Sunday. And it was a very nice guy. This is a Tesi switch, T-E-S-I. And I called the guy and I asked him, I said, listen, I'm putting it in the knob. This is a 10 millimeter switch. Now, unfortunately, with the Ibanez Custom, you do have to drill that bigger because the switch that is in there is probably at about 8 or 9 millimeters. So you can buy a drill bit from them that is a 10 millimeter bit that you can stick through the hole and it will just perfectly round it out. What I did is I did not know, because I didn't take this off. I thought that I would get lucky and it would just slide right in the hole. It did not. So luckily for me, I've got a plethora of drill bits. So I went in there and just slowly rounded it out until I got to the next size, drilled that hole straight in, and it dropped right into the hole perfectly. So it's very simple to install. I'm getting ready to show you how that works right now. But I'm going to tell you, man, if you've never had a good kill switch, they are a blast. And I use it like crazy. So what I was saying is the guy sent me the switch. I got the switch in. He admitted, because it was Thursday, and I had a show that Saturday night. So it came in Thursday afternoon, and I called the switch, and I was like, dude, you're 150 miles from me. What the hell? And the guy was very nice. He's like, dude, I've been moving, yada, yada. He said, but you know what? That's just all excuses. That's all excuses. I apologize. He did a little search for me. He's like, your switch should be there today. This is on a Thursday morning when I called him. He's like, it should be there today. So the switch came in, and then on a Friday I had to show Saturday. On Friday, I had to go in there and do all the work on the guitar, get it soldered. I was going to video it, but I just didn't have time because I had to show Saturday night. So I apologize if you can see all the fingerprints in my guitar, because this is fresh off of his show, and I have not had a chance to clean my guitar yet. So on that note, I'm gonna flip this around and show you how I installed it. It is very, very easy to do. All right, so you can see here, obviously, this is my guitar. So let me show you what I did here. I'm gonna pull these plates off real quick. And this is very, very easy to do. Very nice. On the J Custom, they have metal plates on the back. This is just freaking awesomeness. And then we're going to pull this plate off here. And again, metal plate, very cool. All right, now it may be kind of hard to see. I'm going to tilt this up so you can see what's going on. So the Tesi switch I installed right here. This is the Tesi switch right here. And I did have to do a little drilling on the volume pot hole, because that is a 10mm switch. But if you notice, there's only 2 wires that come off of a Tesi switch. And you see this white wire right here? I ran it through, put it through the hole into the jack, and you solder it to the hot of the jack right here. And that is obviously your live wire. Then you take the ground, this black wire, if you can see it, this black wire right here. And what I did is I didn't unsolder. You really can't tell here, but you probably can't see it. There's little bitty bits of wire there. I just cut the volume pot off because it was only 2 wires. I mean, to the tone pot, I just cut that off altogether. No reason to break the solder and all that stuff, and I didn't want to get into that. So I just cut the volume knob out. So you solder that one hot wire onto the hot side of the jack in the guitar. And looking here, you see this black wire right here? Let me get this. There's a black wire. That is the ground off of the Tesi switch. And all I did is I ran it through the hole here, because when you hook up your electronics, you ground it to the plate of your trim system. So what I did is I just ran the ground wire through the hole, and I just put it under the screw right here and grounded it with the ground of all this. And that's all it took to set it up. It's 2 wires. It's crazy easy to install. So if you've ever thought about it, as you can see, it's really easy to do. So there you have it. That is how you put in a momentary switch. Like I said, this come from Tesi. I'll put a link down in the description below. Super nice guy, and he has all kinds of switches in there. And they sell pedals and stuff like that too. But the switch is really cool. He's got all different kinds of sizes. I did order the small one. They do have them that are knob size, but you got to drill a bigger hole, which I did not want to do. And I like the little teeny tiny one. And so, and it's little. I mean, it is little, and I like that. And they've got them with the ones that light up. They got them made out of chrome, I think, and all kinds of just a bazillion switches in a bazillion different sizes. And it should be a good switch. I did some research on it and read quite a few reviews, and I found nothing bad about the Tesi switch. That is T-E-S-I. So on that note, I'm going to wrap this up right there. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please subscribe to the channel. If you want to help support the channel, you can join my channel either through YouTube or on my Patreon page. And when you join, you will be getting exclusive content. I do have music lessons and stuff that do go up on that exclusively, and all kinds of other stuff. And oh, before I leave, I got to show you this. Check this out. So I've been working on my new logo forever, and is my camera in focus? And I cannot draw. I can't draw at all. And I've thought a million times just about hiring somebody to do it, and it's just one of those things that never comes around. And so luckily for me, my wife can draw. And so when you set up a join thing on YouTube, you got to put in emojis and stickers and all this stupid crap you got to stick in there, which is just beyond dumb. So I picked some random emojis to stick in there, you know, little piles of poop and stupid things like that. It's just, I'm sorry, it's just completely idiotic. But, you know, after thinking about it, I thought, well, I need to put some custom stuff in. So I know I've talked about this before, and like I said, I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm coming up with some swag and stuff, some gear, and it's going to be shred till you're dead. But the whole thing, I just could not figure out what I wanted it to center around. So I got my wife involved, and this is going to be my new logo. Dude, that is just freaking awesome. And this is the shred until you're dead. And we stopped it right here. There's no head, there's no bottom. I just kind of like that. I like that look of it. It's just kind of a very scarce, you know, rock and roll look. I dig that. So we're working on this right now. Of course, one of the little sticker things that she's got up there. So that is going to be seriously cool. So very excited about doing that. And once she gets finished, then I will take it over into Illustrator myself. I can do anything in Illustrator. You put a pencil in my hand, dude, I can barely write my name. It's sad. It is so sad. But then I will go into Illustrator and I will start making all this stuff in Illustrator so I can transfer it over. So we're going to leave it right there. And like the great Sammy Hagar says, if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm and nothing falls into place. Whatever instrument you play, practice to the best of your ability, learn your theory, use a metronome. And until the next video, guys, rock on.